Like, possibly, if you say encountered like a mastermind at the beginning of the map and you were too weak to handle it, and then you went through the map for a while and got a BFG and said, haha, mastermind, now I have this counterpoint. So I don't know.
I mean, trying to rationalize Doom 2's map names is going to get you in the mud pretty quickly, I think, with some of them. I mean, I don't know what McGee meant by the focus. Did he mean the just the intensity of the gameplay? Did he mean the was it the focal point of the main base or something? Was that what he was thinking?
You know, in one of those pointless project ideas that Tarnsman usually says, this needs to be made, and there's some ridiculous idea that you just kind of chuckle about and...
Oh yeah, we've created a backlog of about 50 projects.
Well, unless you already have that, you could add Doom 2 the way it did in name only.
Excellent.
Oh, there was an availability the whole time. Let's see what's on the other side then. Where's the other side?
So just adding on to what I was saying earlier about the monster usage, because there's a heck of a lot more to talk about on that topic. I think at the end of map 5 I was starting to talk about how modern mappers tend to view particularly Revenants and Hell Knights as two monsters which are considered standard. You'd sort of feature them almost as regularly, or only slightly less regularly than you would, I don't know, certain other monsters like, I don't know, common, again, not quite as common as imps and demons and stuff like that, but you'd feature them quite regularly. But in Doom 2, it's actually really surprising when you take a look at the monster count, because yeah, there are Revenants and Hell Knights, but there are only marginally more than there are Pain Elementals. And
yeah, I remember something in your Sims, something about like there's only like 8 Mancubi or some bullshit like that in the entire game. Like very, very little Mancubi for some reason.
I mean, yeah, there are so many Pain Elementals in Doom 2. They're almost as common as there are Hell Knights, which is really strange to think about. But when you inspect it closely, that's the case. And so when we sort of came up with a sort of half-finished product, we took a look at the monster numbers and we thought, whoa, there's way too many Revenants in this. There's way too many Hell Knights. We have to find some way to cut them down.
I just want to interject there and say that almost everything we have been talking about in this entire Let's Play should be considered a bit strange to think about, because, I mean, who does this? Who analyzes a 20-year-old game in this way? And, well, we do. Well, you do.
I do, yeah.
So, yeah,
well, I'm not doing it anymore. Christ, I'm finished with this. You know.
Now there's only Plutonia the way those two guys did, and... Whoa, ho, 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 ho.
Hey, there you go, chain gunner rape.
Rape isn't the funniest subject to joke about, come on. Yeah, but that was definitely... This makes me feel like something, but I don't really know what. Maybe either map 10 or Doom 1.
This is great. It's a giant flashing box, fantastic. So this is Tarnsman's sort of inspired by Refueling Base, in that of course Refueling Base was originally made by Tom Hall, the original layout, and then Sandy Hall fixed it up. Sandy Hall, wow. Sandy Pearson.
And so, it is huge, and
this map is called Quarantine. It's also called Starstructing.
What?
I think if you look in the interpic. Oh no, it's also called Quarantine there. There's probably the same dehack thing that was messing with the Silkyards map before. Oh well. Yeah, so in the proper final release version, it's called Quarantine in the main interpic, and then it's called Starstructing in the auto map. And that's a play on Circle of Death, of course. Map 11 and Doom 2 is called O of Destruction and Circle of Death.
Yep. Am I correct, by the way, in assuming that the O of Destruction is a reference to the Hoe of Destruction from like Ultima or something?
Yeah,
I think I heard it somewhere.
That's right.
Alright. I'm awesome. I haven't played any Ultimas, but for some reason I know that. Also, this...
And Starstructing is a reference to the Doom Bible, which we thought was appropriate. This Pain Elemental, great. We knew about it, we did nothing to fix it.
I think in map 9 something like that happens in the original game. Does it? Yeah, I read somewhere in the forums, I remember someone had... Oh, someone's shooting at me now. An idea like escort mission, make a Pain Elemental that you have to get somewhere for some reason, and it doesn't make lost souls because there is a lot of lost souls somewhere, and then you have to kill the lost souls so that... I don't remember, but there was like make use of the completely pointless paint elementals that don't do anything in an interesting way in the map.
That's great.
I definitely remember something like that in forums, but a long time ago. But as I wanted to say, this really feels like, you know what, E2M4, I think, from the Doom 1?
Yeah, it does. The texture is very similar. I'm not
just,
sure if Tomsman was aware of that.
It
was subconscious.
The bigness. And yeah, the textures definitely, but this something, something between the refueling base and that, definitely. And it feels like, what if it, or, well, one of them made that map, but it didn't make it, and then that map was used as a Doom 2 map, kind of like refueling based. It's interesting. I remember you guys talking about a lot of what ifs like that, completely just complicated what ifs inspired by stuff that happened to the actual maps, and this is so, to me, much more interesting to think about than to actually, I don't know, map for it. But this in particular thing feels like it's going to be Crusher. And
he dressed it up enough, I think.
Yes, and this is another thing that it reminds me of. Oh no, you're going to die. Yeah, because
no.
Goodbye, sweet prince. And E2M4 definitely had some of the more tricky. Well, the other one, pointless Crusher in the computer textured room, that I had no clue what the fuck I was doing there. What was the purpose of it? Definitely feels like that. Oh well, let's see, where haven't I gone? Anywhere probably. Oh yeah, this place. Hello. I really enjoyed Doom 1 the way it did, by the way. I don't know if people feel that it wasn't optimal in its reaching the project goals or anything, but I definitely enjoyed it, and I think the biggest part I liked about it was the slightly alternate take on episode 2 or something. I think there was like the Asylum thing and something about
thing,
archaeology, and those were definitely stuff I very much liked about it. And also I think the boss maps, actually there was a couple maps that I think were replaced in the final version that I liked more. One of them being, I think, Cyber Demon maybe map, like the Vault or something. Was it in the final version, or was it the one of the best?
Vault is the one that made it to the final version. Although there were many different versions of it. It was a map originally by Marchaic, and he originally made just the arena itself, which we all thought was the best way to go, and then he started to sort of tack on an extra sort of start to the map and dragged it out, and then eventually he surrendered it over to Essel Fortune, who made it into collaboration.
Yeah, there was definitely a couple maps in one of the beta versions or something, pre-releases of the first Doom, the way he did, that I liked more than some of stuff that made it in, but they were probably not very Doom-ish.
Yeah. Well, there were a heck of a lot of maps for the project. I think there's more than 100 that were submitted, so there's bound to be some that other folks would prefer. Yeah, that was the one I remember most was, I think, one, probably now that I know that the Vault is in the final map, then I'm mistaken about that, but there was, now I think it was maybe E1M8 map that had like a lot of corridors and a bit of transition, like you walk through them and there's suddenly like hellish elements in it or something, and it had a custom music track. There was one called Raw Meat by Marnetma, which I quite liked, but there were so many E1M8s, so I can't remember half of them, unfortunately. Zaza might be able to tell you, since he's working on the Lost Episode pack. Oh, is it like at the same time Doom, like I know the Lost Episode is like the episode 5 or something. Yeah, I think you played it in one of the singles. Oh, yeah, he did that as well. Yeah. Wow. There's so many projects with that title. There's the Chris Cly one from 1994 or 5 called The Lost Episodes of Doom. Then there's Say's Lost Episode. Then there's the Lost Episodes of Doom the way it did. So
I was actually I was a bit disappointed to learn that a lot of the maps from that Lost Episode by Zazer were actually like taken from betas or alphas or whatever, or something like that, because I thought they were all like regional maps, and I liked it a bit more when I thought that, but whatever. I definitely like the overly complicated map with some trace station or something like that, and I don't think I ever beat it because I was getting lost in there.
I think most of them are collected in the Lost Episodes, although Zaza has reworked some of them. Now this room here, this is my fault. I mean, it's Tansman made it, of course, but I said, Tansman, I want I want a brown hug maze, and I want there to be sky, and I want to be flashing and 20% damage. And
That's
said,
very
okay.
specific.
We need maze. I mean, Doom 1 was notorious for its maze. It didn't have that many, but I think even John Romero after it was released said, you know, he wasn't a big fan of all the mazes in it. Fuck me, sideways. It's a BFG on a hanging leg. But we figured, you know, for authenticity, we must include a maze of this sort. So here it is, whether you like it or not.
I feel indifferent towards this. Like, I think who was it? Tim mentioned that once said, I wish I felt something about it, but I just don't. He was asked about the royal wedding or something on some program. He said that. Oh well.
Oh, who is this?
Tim Minchin. No,
Tim Minchin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fucking lovely guy. Probably the only musician who does songs that I like, because I don't really like songs at all ever with words in them.
Songs with words in them?
Yeah.
Antroid, how could you?
I don't know, I hate singing. I like music without singing. Yeah, well, that's completely just unconnected, but I am probably known by now for talking about stuff that has nothing to do with what I'm playing.
Well, I mean, that's so radical a viewpoint, I wouldn't even know where to start in discussing it, so...
So let's not. Yeah. This actually reminds me, another one of those ideas that you could joke about and then just completely forget. We were talking about the lions, of course, in the 300 Lions stream, and someone pronounced it in a way that I thought he meant lions, like the animals. And I thought of this texture. I thought, yeah, you should make a project with 100 instances of this face in every level, and call it 100 lions.
I'm not sure we said that, but now that you mention
No, I mean, someone said 100 lions, and I think I heard it as lions and not lions. And I thought, yeah, should definitely do that.
It's possible that we might have been talking about. Actually, no, we.
No, I'm not saying that you meant lions, but
there was one texture in this map that we briefly had an obsession with, and that I'm pretty sure Thompson would be very happy to make an entire map set out of.
Is it Dark Face by any chance?
In a sequel.
Let's see. I know that I think he'll, ironically or not, he has some sort of emotion towards Gark Face, I think, if I remember correctly.
Gark Face, there you go. That's the one.
Except I don't have the blue key yet. Oh well.
Except you.
Guy. Oh wow.
So yeah, I did say this was a Tarzan map, but it's half true. It's actually a Purist map. Purist started it off. I think I remember. I'm not sure if he started it intending for it to be Tom Hall, or if it's just Sandy Peterson and then Tarzan decided to turn it into a Tom Hall mock collaboration sort of thing. But Purist Maps was pretty different from this, actually. Sort of base frame of it was still there, but I only played it once. I probably have to go back and have a look at it, because it's yeah, it's been changed a fair bit.
For some reason this place doesn't feel like the original Dooms at all, I don't know why. It's just the height and these fat columns here just feels like a screenshot from the screenshot thread and not the original Doom. But of course, who is to say that they wouldn't have done this kind of room if they did other maps? There's still the textures make me think of D2-4 because I think it had the bricks.
Yeah, lots of Doom 1 textures used in this map.
Well, at least it's not map 10. As far as I know, the references were actively discouraged in the project.
They were discouraged, but there were a couple. I mean, obviously, map 7. We can forget about that one. There were a couple of others where they were very analogous to, and it's quite obvious. Fuck me, sideways.
You're just not going to let it go, are you? I don't remember the exact statement which was the project goals, but was it as if the original maps were never made at all, or was it if... I think the confusing statement was something like, imagine if there was a map between this, and if there was a map like this for between everything, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's what Hellbent originally postulated for the creation of the original in the way it did. Imagine if there was a 10th map.
Yeah, and imagine if there was a 8 10th maps, and well, That's kind of strange. I couldn't understand for the life of me why would you phrase it like that. But that makes it feel like, make it as if all the other maps were already made.
That's
but
right.
for this project in particular, were you keeping in mind like the original maps existed, so they wouldn't repeat some idea? Because the thing is, with the references, it could have been masqueraded in a way like, what if one of them had this idea and he liked it so much that it's easy to imagine that in the alternate universe he would still have the same idea, and that would be an excuse to make something.
That's right. I mean, yeah. I mean, if we were making it as though Doom 2 still existed and we were just tacking on levels to the existing ones, then we might, discover, well, all of a sudden it looks like Sandy Peterson had a lot more time on his hands, and maybe he became a bit more competent a mapper in some respect. I mean,
no.
It's a very interesting question. What sort of maps would Sandy Peterson have made if he had time? Because he never had any time. All of his maps had to be rushed, pretty much. Something I would like to ask him, actually, was there anything that was particularly rushed, or was there something that you spent like upwards of a month and a half on? But the qualities are pretty evenly consistent, honestly, in his maps.
Yes. Okay. There's something blue definitely there. I know the low resolution, I don't know why I didn't think of it before, but definitely adds a lot of the Doom feeling back that I thought I lost. Because I don't know if for people who played Doom back when it came out, what the resolution was there. I don't really know about that. Was it 3 by 200 roughly?
It was 3 by 200? Oh,
like well, I'm playing now, or was it like 640 by 480 or something? Could you do that?
I can't remember. I don't think that was.
Because as I pointed out a lot, my first Doom was the SNES version, and that definitely had a low resolution to the point where at a distance in a couple of rooms you couldn't tell if it was an imp, a zombie man, or even a baron sometimes. This definitely brings it back. Also, the blue thing that I thought was the key is apparently not the key, unless there's two keys. Oh well. And this is definitely, I don't know, just seeing a zombie man be represented by like a bunch of pixels that you can't really make out what he's doing in the distance. It feels like Doom to me. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh goodness. Bullet City.
Okay, how to best approach that? Did I save at any point? Probably did. I think I should approach it carefully. Or does that sound like a stupid idea? Okay, where did I go?
Well, I think Sandy is frankly indiscriminate as to how you approach certain encounters sometimes. He wouldn't have put much thought into it beyond, the basics. Hence the balance.
No, but that particular encounter, I mean, would it pay off to be careful about it? I don't know. I'll try. I am so rarely careful when I'm let's playing. So, just for the sake of difference, let's try to be actually competent. Okay, so if I was careful, I cannot run back here. If I was careful, kill those two guys because obviously they make all the difference here. Come on, come on. Oh well, I would probably just select the BFG and go.
Oh, that pushed the visibility a lot, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't notice it before, so well, now I know. Let's go take it.
Oh, I didn't know it was there either. Well.
Yeah, it didn't help. I'm also very bad with the BFG, by the way, if you couldn't tell. I really cannot be efficient with the shots, to the point that people kill cyber demons in 3 shots, I kill them in 10. Kind of, because I think when I shoot, no matter how much I try, only the ball itself hits the cyber demon and he only gets damage from that, and so well, I kind of suck with the BFG. Let's just pretend that I still think that BFG is like a splash damage weapon, and just play like I think it's that.
Yeah, it's kind of strange in a way that it's so complicated a weapon, and there are so many weapons in modern games where they're nowhere near as complicated to use as the BFG.
Well, I might be wrong about this, but isn't the complicatedness of the BFG just a result of them trying to implement a way for it to kill people on screen or in the line of sight in a way that wouldn't like lag the system horribly?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's absolutely no way they could have predicted the sort of ways in which it came to be used and manipulated. I mean, that's kind of the charm of games of this era, honestly. The ways in which they come to be played, and how the original designers never expected it.
Yeah, lagging for some reason. I would definitely blame lags if I die here. Or just enemies. Alright, safe.
Got this. There we go.
I'm feeling great. Alright, I was so... Oh. Interestingly, I seem to remember a lot of things from the Doom games which just weren't there at all. And one of them was, I don't know where I got the impression, I think it was even before I played any Doom on PC, but I definitely remember seeing, when you shoot a BFG, seeing like it flash white or green for the entire screen and then everyone is dead after it finished flashing. Where that came from, I have no fucking clue. But it's definitely a memory that I have from somewhere. Also, what was the map from Doom 2? Tenements, I think, with a lot of brown stones in it and the canals and shit. Was it Tenements?
Yeah, well, Romero maps, I guess. Probably Tenements, yeah, there were a lot of canals in it.
The one that has...
14. It's made of canals.
The one that has a lot of rip-offs in Plutonia, I think. Or one direct rip-off in Plutonia with a different sky. I think it was Tenement. Anyway, I think I remember seeing that map with the sky from E1, from Doom 1, and I have no idea how that came to be.
It's possible you ran into the Doom 2 sky bug, where
Doom 2 gets the sky from Doom 1, I don't think.
Of course. I mean, do you know about that bug?
I know that there in the original game, if you just play continuously, the sky stays the same or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, I meant the foggy mountains sky from Doom 1, that sky. And that, I don't know how that could have happened.
Perhaps you're looking at a promo screenshot for something.
No,
because
I was...
in some of the promo screenshots for Doom...
Yeah, I remember those, but
it
was
that's for Doom 1.
A very specific situation, because I remember I was at someone else's house before I even knew that what other Dooms were there beyond 1. For the longest time I was very confused about, there's like Doom 2, which I have know nothing about, there's something called Final Doom, which I know nothing about, what the fuck is all that, and well, thanks. I was definitely... I didn't recognize because I didn't know that map, I haven't seen it before. But later when playing that map I recognized it almost immediately with the layout and everything, I remembered like that. But I was at someone else's house, probably at like a birthday party or some shit, because I never go to other people's houses otherwise. And someone else was playing, and there was like a berserk or something, and the guy who sat there, whose birthday it probably was, he said, "No, don't take that." And then I started playing, and he said, "Yeah, Antroid, go ahead and take it." Like, and I thought that maybe that was like a anti-medkit that would kill you if you took it, and that guy just wanted to fuck with me or something. And then I distinctly remember, I don't think there is actually archviles, there's chain gunners in like the corners of the canals in that map, on the lifts or something. But I remember, I didn't know who the archvile was, and I definitely remember something like the archvile attack happening at some point.
Yeah, that's got to be map 14 then. That's there are a lot of chain gunners situated on pedestals on the corner around the brick.
Well, but yeah, well, I seem to have 1 health. Cool. So yeah, that's wait, where did these guys come from?
You've really dug yourself into a hole here.
Well,
and jumped right in. Yeah.
I'll take this as a challenge here. I am definitely with you guys on, if I ever get like 1 health but I'm in a safe zone, definitely save, because it's definitely fun.
I don't know why we impose that upon ourselves. I mean, really, it doesn't make the game any more fun.
No, to me it does. Sometimes I feel like solving like a battle puzzle by finding a way to escape some situation with 1 health or something like that. One of actually, for a while I was making a Serious Sam map where you got damaged up to like you had 1 health from the start, and then you had to play through like usual, but you had to collect the pills, which are like the health bonus, because every once in a while would be a fall in there, which I scripted to take a certain amount of damage. So you had to find like 4 pills before jumping down to survive each time, and it was like a couple of those. Now that I think about it, it's probably possible to do something I didn't do, like make it so like barrels damage a voodoo doll, and you're left with 1 health, and you have to play through maps looking for health bonuses. Then you press a switch, which also detonates a barrel somewhere that damages a voodoo doll exactly for like 5 points of health. That would be really dumb. Oh well. So, this map. Oh, I already have the blue key, right. Let's go finally see the Garg face. Long awaited. If I can even find my way back, because I'm paying so little attention that I don't even remember which of the maps, which map I'm playing, because like when that started, yeah, this is totally that one map that I said felt like pt.1-4 and map 10, but for some reason I was convinced that I already beat that map, and there's like 2 maps after that one. Just goes to show.
Yeah, once you get into in Doom 2, once you get into the maps 8 to 10 zone, in other words, the sandy maps, they're very, I mean, sandy maps are abstract to begin with, but they're very directionless, honestly, in the way that, I mean, we can talk about, like, as I said before, sandy, just building the entire map around one concept and focusing on that, such as, you know, with the case of suburbs and downtown and those maps. With these maps, it's really just a sort of sequence of ideas that he's just collected under the vague theme of being set in a starbase. So I mean, you're playing through the first 6 maps, and it feels like you're in a sort of tech area, and McGee's doing a really good job of well, some would say only a reasonably okay job of holding you in thrall to a certain theme. Fuck me sideways.
This is a secret?
And then all along comes Sandy, and everything goes out the window. It's like, okay, this is, I mean, what, tricks and traps? That's part of the starbase, really?
I think actually, at least the starting room of tricks and traps looks more like a starbase than the maps before, because the maps before.
Oh, you mean with the hub thing?
Yeah, the maps before with the what was it, big brick or something? Those textures and the metal, they look like some kind of, I don't know, industrial zone more than starbase. Apart from, I guess, the focus, but then. Tricks and traps, definitely. The first room over there, definitely. Ooh, starbase, but then no, not starbase. Well, this definitely held that. Also, this is not Garg face at all. You liar.
No. There's a Garg face room around here. I'm just gotta find it. It's a secret. It's a little shrine to the best texture in Doom.
I thought the best texture was that blue-red thing. I don't remember the name of it.
Fire blue.
Yeah. Well, that was the best texture. Oh well. This texture, or variants of it, I have a huge problem usually when people use it like this, where it cuts off on top and bottom, because it's pipes, and they shouldn't be like this. But of course, in this map set, I'm completely fine with it. But this is like one of the worst textures. People misuse this texture the most, I think, in normal maps. And every once in a while I come by the screenshot in the pictures thread, and I want not this shit again. Someone did this again.
Well,
I hate you.
We're really being let off the hook here. And Antroid has got so many observations that he'd like to sort of fling at us up his sleeve, and then it's like, damn it, but that's what Doom 2 did, and can't really say anything about it. If it was a map set by me, then I'm sure I'd be getting a lot of shit for it.
Well, if it was again.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Oh boy! Alright. So last time the plasma gun helped, so cover your ears for a while. I'll be using it here definitely.